From Careco TV, one of the longest running outdoor programs on television today, exploring the country and the coast in search of adventures. From the mountains of the Great Northwest to the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, this is Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. This week on Americana Outdoors, we'd like to welcome you to the big waters of Lake Michigan and the Bay of Green Bay for the third stop of the Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's National Walleye Tour, presented by Progressive. The big story today is the Progressive Angler of the Year race. After 4 qualifying events, only the top 40 in points make it to the championship. This is Ranger Pro and current Progressive Angler of the Year, points leader Hunter Nitty.
Angler of the Year is definitely at stake right now. It's going through my mind like crazy. The nerves are actually starting to run, and I'm trying to keep them away. But it's you definitely got to play it safe a little bit, but you got to swing a little bit too, because these fish do not like to eat. There's an alewife hatch out there, and they're pretty tight-lipped.
For those still competitive in the Progressive points race, this is one of those events that could make or break a season. To kick things off, we're on the water with Ranger Garmin Pro Eric McCoy, who launched this morning in second in those coveted Progressive AOY points. Chasing fish on the move, he's putting his Garmin Live Scope to work. Maximizing his time, he's searching out and casting to viable targets. The Live Scope Plus offers improved resolution, clearer images, and better target separation.
We're utilizing the Garmin Live Scope pretty much all week. I haven't done any trolling yet this week, so it's been a lot of fun. This was the small one out of that school. So, yeah, 7-pounder here. So fish number 2. Yep.
That's 3 for Eric in a no-call event with a 3 fish per day limit. That's a big deal when there's such a tough bite.
That's what we came for. Green Bay Gold.
Moving on, we'll join Will Pappenfuss on the water. Wrapping up the 2023 season championship in third, he's racked up back-to-back top 10 finishes. Launching this morning, 3rd overall in Progressive points.
We got 2 in the box right now. I've got probably about half hour, a little over, before we got to head back, but hopefully we're going to pop one more and keep us in the hunt tomorrow.
Let's head back to the scales for the day 1 weigh-in. Despite the challenges of the season, the Bay of Green Bay did not disappoint. Progressive points leader Hunter Nitty is on a mission. With a win this season on Erie, followed up with 7th on the Mississippi, he's sitting 7th going into tomorrow. 2021 Angler of the Year Drake Hurd sacked up 3 for 23 pounds and 12 ounces and 4th place. Ranger Pro Daniel Woodkey is a bona fide local stick. He's sitting in 2nd with 25 pounds, 14 ounces.
There's a good chance they probably won't be there tomorrow because the conditions are going to change. I mean, the bite right now is tough. The fish are moving. There's a ton of bait. There's a lot of transition, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Eric McCoy wraps day 1 in 3rd by bringing 23 pounds, 14 ounces to the scales. And it was Cabela's pro Kevin McCoy, Eric's dad and a legend in his own right, ending day 1 on top of the pack with 26 pounds, 9 ounces.
Congratulations, guys. Hold a couple fish up here.
Here's a look at the top 10 on the Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's leaderboard. Before we head to break, let's learn more about the importance of the Progressive Angler of the Year title and what it means to these anglers.
Really, Angler of the Year, it tells the story the whole season. And, the last few years, we've had unbelievable Angler of the Year battles where it's like, if you're not top 10ing the last couple tournaments, you don't have a chance to win.
That Progressive Angler of the Year title could be the biggest prize of the year, honestly. It's one of the biggest achievements of the year, for sure, and it's one of those titles that can't be replaced.
Gives you a little bit more drive, a little more concern to worry about points and not just swinging for the fence all the time, so it's changed the way you approach it a little bit.
It's the hardest thing to do in tournament fishing is to win Angler of the Year. That is the biggest prize there is. You could go out and win a tournament, yes, that is awesome. That's great. That's a huge accomplishment. But to win AOY is the biggest accomplishment in the tournament fishing for every circuit.
We'll return to tournament coverage in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel. Welcome back to Day 2 coverage of the third stop of the Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's National Walleye Tour, presented by Progressive. By all accounts, it's been a tough week, with high winds and fish on the move that saw even the top anglers with 0 keepers in their live wells by midday. Let's head right to the scales and find out who was able to beat the odds. Progressive AOY points leader Hunter Nitti continued his season dominance, dropping a limit on the scales for 17 pounds and an ounce. He'll wrap the week in 4th. John Kopchak, straight off a 4th place finish on the Mississippi, locks up 3rd here in Oconto. Jacob L. launched this morning in 8th, adding 21.14 to his total weight, giving him 42 pounds 2 ounces and the lead, with 2 anglers left to weigh.
That was a grind. Greg would understand being out there. It's just what we're doing out there. I mean, I'm not getting a lot of bites, very few bites. I actually had 4, lost one that got pretty close to the boat, never seen it, and then ended up making just a move about a mile and ended up getting the last 2. Contemplated for a second letting that 4.5 pounder go, and because I thought someone was turning on, I just couldn't risk it. So it was a long day, but it was a good one.
Out of Kewaunee, Wisconsin. Got a heck of a pedigree behind him, though. 23 pounds, 14 ounces yesterday. Eric McCoy, your pro angler. He needs 18 pounds, 5 ounces to take the lead. The scale locks in. 20 pounds even! 43 pounds, 14 ounces. Carson Wright out of Ellsworth, Wisconsin. He's going to sneak in and cash a check with 27.12. 15th place right now for your co. But man, you are leading. You're a bit hot right now.
Yeah, it's been a fun year so far. Yeah. It was, took a little while to catch the first one this morning, but just got our heads down and put the first one in the box at about 10:30, and then just kept rolling from there. I told Carson going out this morning, it's my short day today, so it's going to take all day to catch the last one, and I think the second fish came about 2 o'clock, and the third one came at 2:15, and we're supposed to be leaving at 2:20, so it was a special end of the day.
Let's bring up NWT Pro Danny Woodkey. He's got 25 pounds, 14 ounces in the box already. He will need 18 pounds and an ounce. He's going to be 10 pounds short because he's only got 1 fish. 8 pounds, 4 ounces, 8 pounds, 4 ounces.
And there you go. Ranger Garmin Pro Eric McCoy picks up his 2nd win on tour and cashes in on $112,000 in regular payout and an additional $14,000 in contingency money. On the co-angler side, Apple Valley's Ryan Moe picked up his 1st win on the tour, taking home $7,500 for his efforts. Checking the progressive points at the end of a tough 2 days of fishing, Hunter Nitti maintains his lead in the progressive points.
That was my job, was to come here. Not my job wasn't to come here and win. It was to keep my lead in the AOY, and that was my biggest goal. And that's all I've been thinking about for, every day for the rest of the summer until if either I fall behind or it ends and I win it. That's all I'm going to be thinking about.
Give him a round of applause, Ryan Moe, Eric McCoy, your winners here in Oconto.
That's a wrap for the 3rd stop of the Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's National Walleye Tour, presented by Progressive. Before we head to break, let's check in with a familiar face we've seen out on the water and learn how Garmin electronics have elevated his fishing performance.
Garmin's got everything now. I run the Kraken trolling motor, tie that into the live scope units, to the mapping. The Garmin actually owns Navionics, so we've got all the mapping features we need. What else does a guy want? It's all tied together. Side view is awesome, the down view is awesome. Everybody knows how good the live scope is. It helps you locate the fish, but once you dial into where they're at, that's where live scope and casting takes over. And we've seen a lot of tournaments be won by that, just scoping around, casting the individual fish. What I've learned in the last 2 years is probably more than the last 10 years combined, just by live scoping. It's taught us not only where do the fish live, how they react to our baits, the moods they're in, Are they off the bottom? Are they on the bottom? I mean, it's endless what I've learned, and it really doesn't matter what species you're chasing, bass, walleyes, muskies, they all have their same little quirks, and to learn it all with live scope is pretty cool.
We'll return to tournament coverage in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel. Welcome back to the fourth and final qualifying stop of the Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's National Walleye Tour, presented by Progressive. We're on North Dakota's Lake Sakakawea. The system is full of bait and fish are on the move. The next 2 days should be a challenge. Let's kick things off with pro angler Eric McCoy, the reigning champ from the NWT stop number 3 on the Bay of Green Bay.
Today we're fishing a couple backs of some bays and creek beds and stuff like that, going super shallow. It's been more of an afternoon bite, so I'm not expecting much this morning. I think any fish we catch before 11 o'clock is just going to be a bonus.
Spending time in the backwater yielded the results Eric expected. His fish aren't active until later, and that one isn't going to help. Putting his Ranger boat on plane, he and co-angler Aaron Stenfold headed to deeper water.
So we changed it up here a little bit. We came out to one of the deep rock points just to try to find a big fish here in the morning still. Typically this deeper stuff kind of has a better bite in the morning, so we're just gonna try it for half hour and see what happens, and then go back to our original game plan.
Fish.
Checking in on Progressive Angler of the Year leader Hunter Nitty, it's mid-morning and he's still searching for his first.
We'll see what he does. I just hit anchor lock, so he might go your side.
That's a good start, huh?
Yeah, it's probably big enough.
Yeah.
At just over 4 pounds, it's decision time. With the 5 fish, no cull rule, once it goes in the live well, it's yours. Do you keep it or keep gambling? Let's head back to the scales for the day 1 weigh-in.
And the next angler to the stage out of Kewaunee, Wisconsin, your pro angler Eric McCoy coming to the stage.
Eric McCoy launched this morning looking for a limit, but came in 1 fish short.
Eric, we get a little greedy, throw a fish back there today?
Yeah, I threw one back this morning that I wish I had, but if I had to do it over again, I probably would have did the same thing.
Your Progressive Angler of the Year leader, Hunter Nitty, fared a bit better, sacking up 5 for 22 pounds 6 ounces. Checking in at the top of the leaderboard, Dwayne Jelm locked up the 3rd spot with 27.12. Ranger Pro Corey Sprengel put 27.15 on the scales for 2nd. But at the end of the day, it was Huron, South Dakota's Justin Skipper fishing his only event of the season on top of the field with 30 pounds 4 ounces. It's worth noting that we've got a handful of Progressive Angler of the Year contenders inside the top 10. Here's a look at those top 10 standings on the pro side for day 1. We'll return to tournament coverage in just a moment, but in the meantime, take this opportunity to subscribe to our Americana Outdoors YouTube channel. Heading to 2nd day launch, your overall leader Justin Skipper is focused on one thing, the win. With a family and business back home, he can only fish 1 event this year, and he's making the best of it.
You know, pre-fishing we were on to some good fish. I was able to stay pretty consistent. I wasn't fully for sure what my spots were capable of. I really didn't hit them hard. Spent most of my time just searching and just stayed curious, and I think that really helped me settle into an area with a lot of confidence.
Fishing with co-angler Jim Wood, their first bite came early.
Get under. Reach out there. It's going to come down to decisions. Hopefully the fish come in the right order and we don't have to make a lot of hard decisions. I guess when the opportunity arises, we'll make it happen then.
Moving on, Ranger Pro Dwayne Jelm is fishing to win.
It's a nice one, but not going to keep it. Fish.
Launching this morning 3rd on the Johnny Morris leaderboard, fishing with co-angler Mark Bagata, they got to work early. The first couple didn't make the grade.
Yep.
Looking for anything better than 4.5 pounds to start, this one goes in the live well.
I don't think we can gamble. The bite's not that good.
As Dewey tends to his first, we'll move on. Starting off the day casting lures, Corey recognized a change in the bite. Switching to chubs proved to be the ticket.
Go, Joe. Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
Joe Artem makes the scoop, and that one will go in the live well.
How do you feel about it?
I think that one's gonna go, probably about 6 pounds or so.
Huron, South Dakota's Justin Skipper launched this morning with a better than 2-pound advantage over the rest of the field. But increasing winds and fish on the move have changed the bite. Reluctantly, under a 5-fish no-call rule system, he kept his first. It was a long minute before he hooked into his second. Moving on, Ranger Garmin Pro Dwayne Jelm and co-angler Mark Bagata are scooping up their second.
We got pretty lucky because the first swing, I pulled it away right when he went after it. It's 5.5.
Cool.
5.5, kind of makes up for the other one. Now we got basically a 5-pound average. It's gonna be a grind today. It's been super challenging. I throw at the fish and I can't get down to him fast enough.
With 3 in their live well, Corey Sprengel and Mark Artem land another. Under a tough bite with hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table, every fish means money.
Nice job, Joe.
Yep.
I mean, it's well over 5 pounds, so these are the ones you can't throw back. Like I said, 25 pounds is hard to beat out here. I know, we got some of the best sticks that are out there, but at the end of the day, there's gonna be some flip-flopping going on in the standings, and you never know.
Let's head back to the scales for the final weigh-in at stop number 4 of the National Walleye Tour. Dylan Nussbaum came into this event 5th in the Progressive Angler of the Year standings. Weighing 27.5 on day 1, he backed it up on day 2 with another 27.3.
27.3, Dylan Nussbaum got a total of 54 pounds and 8 ounces from Pierce, South Dakota. It's Dwayne Jelm. His co-angler today is out of Stratford, Wisconsin. This is going to be another good weight. Could take the top spot. Already sitting on 27.12 after 1 day. Good lively fish, 5 alive. 28 pounds, 12 ounces, new leader, 56 pounds, 8 ounces. Congratulations, guys.
It all came down to the day 1 leader, South Dakota's Justin Skipper.
Skipper leads 26.5 with 5 fish in the box, 5 alive, no penalties. Lock it in. 24 pounds, 3 ounces. 3rd place with 54 pounds, 7 ounces, man. Great job. Congratulations. Dewey, you get to host another one. Joe, enjoy it. Step out to the front of the stage. Hold him up high. Give him a round of applause.
I have no words to describe what has happened. Somehow I pulled off the win here on Lake Sakakawea. Second time being here, another win. Absolutely unbelievable. Obviously, I love this place. The fish is very similar to Lake Hawaii, my home body of water, and it's so special up here. It's like no other place that we fish.
Here's a look at the top 10 standings on the pro side. On the co-angler side, Duluth, Minnesota's Joe Artem picks up the win and his 2nd top 10 of the season. Checking in on the Progressive Angler of the Year race, Hunter Nitti holds on to his lead. Before we wrap up this show, let's head over to iCast and hear how today's winner, Dwayne Jelm, utilizes Garmin electronics on the water.
Starting from the trolling motor all the way back to the back of the boat, it's all Garmin, and I run the Garmin Force. It's a 57-inch, and I run 2 forward-facing transducers on that, one in perspective and one in forward, and that just allows you to see what's coming, and then you have the 2D, and then you have the side view coming out the back too, so it's definitely a whole boat program or system for me. Honestly, I put probably more hours on my trolling motor than I do on my kicker motor now, or running from spot to spot. Like now you just, like you want to go check a spot, but you almost don't ever want to stop looking on your trolling motor just because you can find that one little needle in a haystack. When you come around the point, there might be a boulder or a rock or a tree setting right there that you would have never found if you weren't glued to that screen looking for that one little thing. So for me, it's changed basically on how I pre-fish, probably the most, and it's just because I'm non-stop back and forth with my trolling motor all day long.
Hey, thank you for watching, and join us again next week on a new episode of Americana Outdoors. Americana Outdoors is a Careco TV production.